is such a special place. You can be from anywhere in the world and you'll be welcomed with open arms.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Breaking Bread Birmingham food podcast that takes you behind the scenes of the most exciting food scene in the country. I'm your co-host Liam. Sitting beside me as always is my brother from another mother, Carl.
Hello.
What's happening, brother?
All right, are you?
Yeah, good man.
Big
Good.
40 now.
I know. I do think that's probably, we'll get on to obviously our little delay. Before that, I'd like to just say this episode is packed full of fun stories. It's with Glynn Purnell. Obviously in this, expect lots of laughs. His storytelling's brilliant. But on top of that, I think he was quite real with us as well. He shared some of the challenges. Obviously, closed his restaurant at the start of this year. It's been a bit of a theme.
Well, we've wanted him
throughout
on
the year.
from day one, haven't we, for the podcast? And I think we've sort of completely accidentally caught him at the exact right time for a good podcast.
I agree with that. So yeah, if you want to open a restaurant, this is a good one to listen to because he's very real about it. Obviously, the challenges have been in the public eye as well. We spoke a bit about that. Before that, I just want to say welcome back and how's things? Good to have you all back. Yeah. We definitely didn't mean to stay away this long. But yeah, we've been busy, as Carl said. I turned 40 this year. We still love it. We're still out all the time. We're still eating all the time. Still trying to champion all these business. That's the thing. I don't think we ever plug our Instagram. If you do miss us, we're there every day on Instagram.
There's pretty much permanently something on the feed. I can't think of it ever clicking on and not having something on there.
Always eating somewhere. Always plugging something. Always championing Birmingham food restaurants, businesses. Loads of them. So with that said, where you been eating, man?
And this.
Oh.
And this. Don't forget these.
Look
how good it looks.
God, I hope they're in focus.
This is the most flattering fitting t-shirt I own. So if you're a bit chubby,
this is the
these
t-shirt
are the ones.
for you.
Well, there's probably someone watching it going, that ain't flattering, mate.
Camera adds £10.
Yeah. Imagine I'm slimmer. But yeah, hats too.
Yeah. Designed by Kev Gray.
Awesome
eyes. What's the beer he does? I always say the wrong one.
He always works for Black Iris.
Not that.
There's a lot of stuff for them. He did the original Bonehead sort of artwork.
Yeah. Someone we've just always liked. And, we could have tried to put any old shit on a t-shirt and tried to sell that, but we didn't want to do that.
No.
We wanted to
get some landmarks on as well.
And the hat.
The floozy. Yeah.
The hat too.
The hat's banging.
The hat's cool. We've got a lot of people loving the hat. Obviously, if you want to buy these, we would be really grateful. It would help support what we do with the podcast and allow us to support more Birmingham food restaurants and businesses. If you'd like to do that, go to breakingbreadbirmingham.co.uk and it will take you straight to the shop. You'll see the stuff. Go and buy some. Yes, man. Where you been eating?
Wow. Opening of the year by a mile. Pero, yeah. I've been twice now. You go quite a lot for your sandwiches on a Saturday, and we've been properly.
Oh, cheers to outing me there, Carl. Yeah, you sneak off for your little sandwiches.
You eat sandwiches every week.
But you know what? I go in, I finish my tie on a Saturday morning, and I think I'll just go to Pero and get they do the best Vietnamese iced coffee, man. It's so good. Salted caramel. Oh. And every time I go in, Matt's always making a sandwich. And I'm like, looks good, doesn't it, mate? And I'm like, yeah, it does. What's that? And he's like, oh, it's, last time it was like the sloppy Giuseppe, kind of sloppy Joe vibes. He's like, do you want one? Yeah, fuck it, go on. And what's that smell? Oh, it's cookies coming out the oven. Jesus. Right. Yeah, I'm going to have one. Give me 2 of them cookies, Matt. Next thing you know, like 40 quid down the drain. I only went in for Vietnamese iced coffee. But man, I don't care. It's worth it. I love it.
It's hard not to. I mean, I've been lucky to go twice now. We went and we pretty much tried the entire menu. But that's the thing, the menu changes a lot.
Yeah.
So you can try different things. And
there was only a couple of months between the times you went.
Yeah, and the menu was nearly completely different. there was only a couple of things that were the
But that
same.
tuna tostad, that's got to stay, man.
That's my dish of the year so far, with pistachio mole, like ceviche tuna on top of this tostada. It's insane.
Phenomenal, that dish.
It's not a sharing dish either.
Don't share that. If you share that, you're going to instantly regret it. I promise you. Order 2.
It's so nice. But the place is great. Obviously, everyone that works there is
amazing.
Awesome.
I love
They're
that.
so good.
Yeah, nicest people ever.
Yeah, and Matt's so talented. What he can do, and it's just go, get a booking and go.
Yeah, if you can.
It's a tiny place. Like,
it's rapidly turning into as hard to get into as Rabbit kind of vibes.
It's only going to get harder to get in. So if you want to go, go.
I feel like we said that at the start of Rabbit as well.
Yeah, we told people you've got to go, and then you can look. This big London food reviewers can't get tables there.
Yeah.
So just book up as soon as you can, otherwise you won't be going.
Another massive opening I was so excited for since it was announced. I've never known hype like it. You know, as soon as they put the announcement up of the old warehouse, and you're thinking,
yeah.
What's this? St. Paul's Market. This looks interesting, and you know, it's got Joe and Independent Birmingham involved, and you're thinking, well, they don't mess about like this. They're always doing something cool.
A lot of people involved in that project. You've got the people from Manchester, you've got the people at Soy, it's a perfect dream team, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was always, on paper, you looked at it and went, there's no way this could not be brilliant.
And then they kind of leaked the food vendors every week, building anticipation, and every vendor, you're like, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not only, like, you can take away the place itself, it's fantastic. The layout's good. The fact that you can sit down and just scan a QR code. You don't even have to move to go and get a drink or food. They bring it all over to you, which is good. Cause my main gripe when you go to these places, if you go with a few mates, one person's over there waiting, one person's over there. You get back to the table and there's no one there. And you've got to eat your food by yourself. Then someone else comes and it's half, like, none of that. You can all just sit, have a good chat, and it all comes to you.
I was thinking as well, you know, if you were working on the street food things, you know, it must be so like daunting just seeing like 20 faces standing there looking at you, waiting for their food. Is that mine? Is that mine? Is that mine?
Well, that's it. They can just get on with it as well, because the payment and the ordering sorted. It just comes through to them, and they can just focus on the food. They haven't got to deal with the customers too much.
No, I loved it, and I loved that we were just chatting as a group, and food just arrived. It wasn't like you were sitting there waiting. We were just having a conversation, and food arrived.
Yeah,
comes on proper plates. There's a lot to be said, but I mean, I love street food. I ain't slagging it, but like, it's a nice touch to get a plate and cutlery. It is a nice little touch, you know.
It's nice, isn't it?
It is, and then I mean, man, we've got to talk about the food. Like,
it's the places. It's the fact that it's not just there's a burger place, there's a pizza place. There's one of the best pizza places. There's one of the best chicken places. There's one of the best bow places. They've got all the finest places from Birmingham, or a lot of the good places from Birmingham, and put a tiny little version of it in here.
Yeah.
So if you come to Birmingham from somewhere else and you've heard Chances is brilliant, or you've heard the pizza at Kilda's great, or Tiger Bites Pig does the best this, or whatever, it's all in one place. You haven't got to go to Sturchley, middle of town, over there, over here, over there. It's all there in one place.
Yeah.
All some of the best bits of Birmingham under one roof.
That burger, the fudge burger from Chances.
Yes. Oh. Just hot, just how I like it as well. Very hot.
Even Corner Shop, that pizza, and we've had Corner Shop a few times.
Yeah,
but I feel like it's a different level at the market. It was the best I've ever had it. It was a bit more lighter, a bit more fluffier, not as dense.
It felt like you could eat a plus, like you still can't.
You're still not eating many. And then the ribs from Tiger Bites Pig, they were immense.
And then soy, that chicken. How good was that chicken? That's the best chicken bar I've ever put in my mouth. That was insane.
No, chicken doesn't have any business being that good, man.
No. And you've got the Persian place. You've got LA Pop as well.
I was a bit good. I missed them kebabs. Did you see that?
They look good.
I got Insta jealousy the next day.
That's what Siobhan got when she went back. She went the week after and got that. And
I'm going back for that.
So they do the wraps and they're all chopped up and put on a skewer. And that looks absolutely incredible as well.
Definitely going back for that.
I'd go back every week.
I'll go back all the time.
I'd go back every Sunday. I would just take the little one. She always picks something different. It's brilliant. I cannot rate it highly enough. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's what we needed in Birmingham. Yeah. Desperately, like. I'm so glad we got it.
And the drink selection's great. They've got nice cocktails, got wicked beers on, got Glass House. That keeps me very happy.
Got milkshakes from LA Pop. That keeps me happy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And a DJ.
Oh, and a DJ,
And a giant mirror ball in the middle of the place.
Yeah,
and the place just looks cool.
Yeah, it's got a nice feel about it, and it's massive. Massive.
Yeah, it is huge. Indian Cafe Races new place.
Indian Cafe Races new place.
Hard to find from the existing pub. It's a whole 30-second walk.
But you know what? This feels like the food was immense. I mean, I like the old place. Don't get me wrong. Well, I say the old place. It's still open.
It's still there. The old place is still there at the back of the Wellington.
But I like the vibe in there and the interior and stuff. But this feels like it's taken up a whole another level because the food was always incredible.
We've eaten there a lot, and I've always found the food to be incredible. Like, so flavourful.
And now it's got this nice restaurant to go with it as well.
Yeah, it's really nice inside. They've done it. They did all the design inside. They did it all themselves, and it just looks like a high class sort of fancy place. It's
gone up another level. Really chuffed with it. Nicest dude ever as well. Such a nice
really
guy.
nice cat. Nice, good drink again. Good cocktails. Got fancy different cocktails because they've got their own big bar now, and they can really throw themselves into that. I never had a cocktail, but they look good, and I know a few people that had them.
I'm sure you will.
Next time I'm going to be trying a few of them definitely, and there will be a next time, 100%.
Awesome. So we've taken enough of your time.
Yeah.
We'll hammer on to today's episode, as we said, with the Purnell episode we wanted to do forever. Such a big influence on both of us, I think. First Brummie voice on the telly, like smashing it as well. Like, wasn't there just to take part. He was there.
Yeah, I think I talked about he was the person that got me interested in this type of like. I dare say if it weren't for him being on Great British Menu, I wouldn't be doing this with you right now.
No, there'd be no podcast. That's for sure.
Like no chance.
I wasn't interested in food like that until I seen him.
No, I had zero. I just thought it was all farty little bits of nonsense on a plate until he came along and showed, no, it's fucking great. And then the whole show, that show alone is the reason I love food so much that I do now.
A Great British Menu, definitely.
It's definitely the ultimate show, isn't it? For just showcasing. Even now, it showcases what's new, what's coming up. It shows the best chefs coming up. It's the very, very best of the country go on that show.
Awesome. Nothing left to say, but here's Glynn. Our Glynn.
We went to Purnell's, didn't we?
Yeah, we were one of the first places we went to.
One of the first.
It was when we just started doing the podcast. We said we'll do a Christmas party at Purnell's, just me and him, and our wives.
Yeah, you had Sonal there then.
Yes,
yeah, Sonal. He was with me for nearly 14 years.
We didn't meet Sonal till Cray's first pop up in the city when he was off telly and left. Michael's restaurant. And Sonal was there, and he goes, "Yeah, you had so and so." It's like, "Fucking hell, do you remember what I had?"
Genius like that.
It's like, "Do you remember what I had?" I said, "I didn't remember what I had."
He's so good, Sonal. Sonal, you will talk about the first time you ever went to Jessica's. You booked. Have you got Sonal on the podcast?
Sonal's been on,
yeah, of course. Well alive.
What man? I love bumping into him. So much fun.
He's great guy.
Yeah.
You want to come back as Sonal in the next life, don't you? Like these hot air balloons, drinking champagne, and all that.
I've done all that with him.
Yeah.
Generally, we went to Morocco. That's where we went. Morocco. We were drinking with Krug. There, we've been to Seville.
I'd love to go to Seville.
The Piedmont region in Italy. Truffles. Went truffle hunting with dogs. You name it, fucking done it.
We started.
So there was no official. This is the Breaking Bread podcast.
Well, no, we do that.
It's like an intro with fit once we've done everything.
Obviously, if we were going to go through all your titles, like Prince of Birmingham, we'd be here for a while, I suppose.
It would, yeah. Well, I got more titles than Tyson Fury. Anyway. The Yummy Brummie, that came from. So people think that I called that myself, which I never did.
No.
So when I opened Purnell's in 2007, the Olive magazine. But the Olive magazine did a whole 3-page thing about Birmingham, and they called me the Yummy Brummie. So, I like to make that clear. Yeah, but people think, and like I never called myself the Prince of Birmingham. I got called the Prince of Birmingham by another article or something, and then I used to put them on things and just say, "Well, I am the Prince of Birmingham." I mean, who else is there? And they see, and people say to me, why do you want to be the Prince of Birmingham, not the King of Birmingham? I said, well, because princesses don't run off with kings, do they? So that's the reason why I've decided not to
Well, they're not a
king.
nickname if you make it up yourself.
Well, they're not really, no. I mean, talking nicknames, I was called Glenda when I was an apprentice because I had like long black curly hair. And obviously at them days, like, you know, all the older chefs, because chef de parties were in their 30s then, were all sort of just like big men. And the head chef's wife was called Glenda, and he used to call me Glenda. And he had a bit of he had like a stutter.
Yeah.
And his name was Roger, big horrible bastard. Like, but he loved me though, he did, because he wouldn't leave me alone. But he used to give me the most amount of shit. And I think it's because he knew there was obviously potential there, and I wanted to do it. And he used to go, Glenda, I can't hear you. Move in. And I used to pop up from underneath the oven, and then just like, you know, it's like bang stuff and sat in the door and go, I'm here, chef. So that's a nickname, Glenda. Yeah.
Obviously, this is a podcast we've wanted to do for a while.
No.
Yeah, you were the first name on the sheet.
First,
We're going to do a podcast. Let's write down some people we want.
First name.
And your name was first.
Well, we obviously waited until Blues were doing well. So that we
It
had,
took that long.
so when we
Well,
took
to be honest, we've had
three Blue Noses, it was inevitably going to come to Blues, and we didn't want to depress everyone the last few seasons.
But what I love about the Blues is everything. In the sense of like where it's located, the fans, the colour of the shirts, the hard times we've had, the songs we sing, you know, the pies. I just love everything about it. And then somebody said to me the other day, I went to watch a Solihull Moors game. I took my son, and they said, I like Solihull Moors, your second team. I said, what are you on about? I said, I couldn't give a fuck about any other team apart from Birmingham City. I said, yeah, but like they got like I said, I don't care, because all I am is a Birmingham City fan. I haven't got a second team.
No.
I don't go, oh, I like Man United on a Wednesday. No, I'm just a Birmingham City fan. So if it's shit, it's shit. But when it's great, and it, you know, we won a cup. I went there. I did the voice.
We were there.
It's just like amazing. Like, and what's happening now is phenomenal. But still, to win a cup and then get relegated is the only way Birmingham City could do it.
No, that's it. I gave my
Do you know what I
season.
mean?
I gave my season ticket up that year as well.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I had enough. I was just like the highs. Then I was like, you know, fuck this. Not giving them any more money.
No, I mean,
Can't
like,
do it anymore.
then we went for a dark stage, didn't we, with the with Carson Young and that sort of stuff. And I had a season ticket for 20 odd years, and I gave my season ticket up because I started opening on a Saturday lunch, and also, you know, the politics behind in the background was overtaking the football, and I think that's always been a distraction with the Blues. Although we like the dynasty and the drama of it all, sometimes that deflects on the fact that it's, you know, it's a great club and we've got some great people, and we just want to watch good football. And that's hard to say that this season we have watched some good football. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll carry on watching good football. Yeah.
You say you love where it is, obviously St Andrews and stuff. How do you feel about the new stadium coming in?
Mixed feelings, actually. I love the fact that we're having a new stadium. It's fantastic, because in the way that football works, you have to have revenue coming in to be able to invest in players to become a better side and that sort of stuff. And, you know, like the shithole down the road. I mean, they put concerts on and stuff like that, don't they? So they get a bit of dough coming in from that, and they still can't pay the electric bill. So we need a bigger ground to sort of facilitate that, really. And my hat's off, actually. The Villa Park is a lovely place, and they do it really well. So yeah, we're just jealous a little bit, if I'm honest.
Of course we are. But
Yeah,
it's supposed to be. It's fun.
of course it's a big fun. I got loads of Villa mates, and you know, like Tom Shepherd's a Villa fan, and all this.
Well, if we didn't have that banter, I'd feel like I was missing out. If you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah,
If we didn't
yeah.
have that rivalry, then I'd just be sitting there going, "Yeah, Blues are great." That's it. Not in the
Yeah,
conversation.
it's like he's like a cousin that you like and dislike,
Yeah,
and I love that. And what I love is I watched them against the PSG game.
Yeah,
And, almost killed me that how good they were. I was like, oh fucking hell, and they were great. Do you know what I mean? Fair play to them. But no, Blues the ground, but also I'm buzzing for the new ground. But then obviously I love St Andrews. I love how the nostalgia of it. I mean, I went down my first ever game. I went down in 1987. Because then we were a pot to pissing, so you couldn't just go to football because you didn't have any money. But my mate won tickets on BRMB. So we won tickets, 2 tickets there, and he's a Villa fan, actually. Later on, we went to see Man United Villa, and Villa beat Man United 3-0. Paul McGrath played that also. I mean, I went there and I had a right laugh, but like I went there in 1987. The pitch was dry as a bone. There was about 3,000 fans there. It was third tier football, and like there was like 89th minute against Hull City. The ball's been booted over, bounced over the centre half, and then Mark Yates got in between the centre half and the goalkeeper and nodded it over. And we won 1-0. And there was like people rolling around because it was like the ground was empty. They were rolling around on the floor and that, and hugging and that. I was like, I love this place.
Yeah.
And the funny songs and all that sort of stuff.
Gets you done it if you get young. I remember going to the Blues before we had the new stands, when everything looked like the main stand.
Yeah, same.
Back when I first went, the main stand was the nicest stand.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I remember getting an opportunity to go into the main stand for like a freebie. I don't know how I got it, but I ended up in the main stand. You get a free pie. I was in the Trevor Francis stand. You fancy this or that? And I went in there, and I went in the toilet. In the urinal, stood next to me was Astro from UB40. I was like, fucking hell. I was like absolutely buzzing. So that was my first experience in hospitality as well. I got a pint, a free pie, and I got to meet Astro from UB40. But
you're still doing stuff at the Blues?
Yeah, so I've just finished season. I joined them last season. We did the Garrison with Stephen Knight and stuff, and then I helped develop 12, which we do like a great sort of first entry level at hospitality, which is sort of almost like American sports bar. So we've got that's in the Gilmerick stand, and then I cooked to the boardroom from January right to the end of the season, which was great. And I'm about to we're negotiating about going back in, which I'm looking forward to. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So obviously this is the food podcast, not the football podcast.
Sports talk.
As much as we could talk about the Blues all day.
We could talk about the Blues all day, yeah, and the quality of the pies and how immaculate the hospitality ventures are. But yeah, so it's all about food, yeah.
It's all about food in Birmingham, and you're a big part of that. I'd like to I know everyone goes all the way back to begin with, but how important was your parents in your career cooking?
Massive. I mean, the fact that growing up on Chelmsley Wood on a council estate, and I want to start playing the trombone, walking up cobble, whatever, dragging buckets of, coal, that sort of bollocks. But it was tough, man. I grew up I was born in 75, so my childhood from the late 70s up into the mid 80s was tough, So food was so important. So you would never miss your dinner. You was always hungry. And my mum used to cook some bizarre stuff. Well, to everybody else, it's bizarre. To me, it's pretty normal. And that had a massive influence on the way I cook now and the way I think. So, like, my mum we'd go down to the market with my mum, and we'd go to the butchers, to the greengrocers, whatever. I'd have this big head bag they bought me for Christmas, which I thought was for sport and PE, but it was generally to go to the market and bring the gear home. Do you know what I mean? So we're talking, my mum used to buy whole ham hocks. She used to buy, chicken thighs, rabbit legs, liver, pig's trotters. We used to get free. So she used to haggle with the butcher. The butcher would recognise the old lady straight away and go, she's got a couple of quid, like, you know what I mean? Because our mum used to go every 2 weeks. She's got a couple of quid. And he'd recognise her and he'd go, oh, yeah, Trish, and he'd start haggling and whatever. And then she'd get in, he'd get like a bag of 4 or 5 sort of trotters, and he'd like launch them into the bag. And we'd get home. My mum would boil them up on a Saturday. And then we boil them up. She'd sometimes buy a couple of pounds of winkles as well. So on a Saturday, it could be you're sitting in your pyjamas all around the television, because there was 3 channels. And it would be like some sort of variety show on a Saturday with Shirley Bassey or rock on with Joe Longthorpe or whatever, or Jimmy Tarbuck could just introduce it. And you sat there in your pyjamas. You'd already had your tea. And then you get a plate. You get this pig's foot boiled, like salt, splash of vinegar, packet of plain crisps, if you were lucky. And then our mum would get like the newspaper wrapped winkles. Have you ever had a winkle?
Yeah.
Winkle, yeah. Oh, people go, what? I mean, you're obviously nearly as old as me, but not quite. Your mum would then open the newspaper out, and you get a pin.
Yeah.
And on the winkle, you've got that little, almost like a cartilage. You have to flick that, and then you'd have to like roll it round. And the skill was to try and get out in one. And then you'd be eating your pig's trotter. And every now and again, you get a moody one. And I always used to say to our dad, it tastes like the reptile house at Drake Manor Park.
Oh.
You know, that moody smell, sort of like, and that was it. And that really influenced me on the way that the ingredients side of it. I mean, one of my favourite dishes, my mum used to get which was my dad's favourite dish, she used to get rabbit legs, cover it with water, cup of barley, 2 shredded leeks in, lid on, salt, lid on, in the oven for 2 hours, really slow. And it'd come out and it would be almost like a consomme. Like it almost clarified. The barley was all cooked, the leeks were all sort of in there, and then you'd have the rabbit leg with some of the liquid, with some bread or some, some vegetables, and that was like, for me, it was delicious. I didn't know it was rabbit leg until I was sort of about 12. Yeah, because you wouldn't have had it. They never used to say anything. You used to just put it down. You never used to ask what it was. Don't ask what dinner is. What's for dinner? What's this? You got the old fashioned. What's for dinner? shit with sugar on it, and you go, what? And then my dad. So then my dad was really keen on cooking. So my dad loved cooking. And, for a factory man, it was very unheard of. So my dad worked in a factory called Metro Camel. So my dad built trains, which is just in Washwood Heath. Built trains for the tube. Built trains, carriages for place in Japan. Actually, they did the monorail that goes at the NEC from the airport to NEC. They built that. So for him to be interested in food was quite strange for a man. And we used to watch Food and Drink, Keith Floyd, Madame Jaffrey, Ken Hom. Yeah. So then he watched Madame Jaffrey. He said, "Well, I'm going to cook a curry." And we used to watch it because we didn't have video recorder then. I don't think they were really out yet. My dad used to scratch the recipes down on the corner of his newspaper. He used to scratch the recipe down, and then get the plate and they go ginger, cumin, gram masala, and then they go. So my dad used to do that as well. And he bought a spice rack, and it was on the wall, the spice rack, and we used to top them all up all the time. Everyone's got a spice rack like that, and nobody ever uses it because it looks good. But our old man used to use it, and she used to make curries from scratch. We used to go to the market, and then we started getting into Ken Hom and stuff, and then he bought a wok.
Ken Hom hot wok.
Not a Ken Hom one, because them days you just had to buy one from the Chinese quarter, round bottomed, use it once, it went rusty. So you have to season it and treat it like that sort of stuff. And I remember the first day he got it, and he bought from the butchers, because obviously apart from what he saw on telly, he bought a stir fry mix. And basically it was like a big bag of marinated meats. Yeah. With spring onions and peppers all in the one bag. It wasn't separated, it was just all in the bag. And so he put the wok on this tiny electric sort of cooker. Put the wok on it and turned his back, and he just fucking rolled off onto the floor because it was round on the bottom. And I was like, oh, what? And I always tell the same story as well. I got made a visiting professor at the University of Birmingham, and I got invited, had the cap on, the gown and that. Something like Harry Potter, you know what I mean? I was all dressed up. And I took my mum and dad, and they were like buzzing. My dad was all his best suit, and mum was dressed up. And they were drinking champagne with I think the mayor was there, and there's all these dignitaries were there. And this guy's come over to me dad. I think it's the dean of the university. He's gone, "Oh, Mr. Purnell, I heard about you and your curries and you bought a wok and stuff." He said, "Have you still got the wok?" And our dad said, "Yes, I have." He said, "I use it to iron my shirts." He just rubbed his belly. I was like, "Fucking hell, Dad." So that food. Growing up, parents just, I remember an argument on the playground about Finder's pancakes. Everyone was buzzing at how good they were, right? And I was like, why didn't we have Finder's pancakes? Oh, why? And I'm like, because they're rubbish, they ain't no good. I was like, but everyone at school's having them, blah, blah, blah. And then we was having, liver and bacon, we were having shepherd's pie. I mean, we had a bit of pasta every now and again, but it was always like, braised meats, rabbit legs, chicken legs, roast dinners.
You're on proper food?
Proper sausages and all that sort of stuff. Egg and chips on a Monday with whatever's left over as well. So my mum's gone, right, I'll get you some. So we got this packet of Finders, and our mum's cooked them. Sat down, buzzing, and I've been thinking about it all day. And I was shit in comparison to what I was having. I was like, I don't know what the big fuss about. That was a massive influence for me. All my mates used to come around on Saturday because they knew my dad was cooking a curry. And they go, I do smell like my mum's. Because they would get like, Home Pride, and it had like pineapple and sultanas in it. Do you know what I mean? It's or almost like a beige colour. It was just like, and that was their curry. And my dad sort of, and then they were like taking the recipes down off our old man. So yeah, it was, and he was, whenever we went on holiday, he would always try something a bit different, and that sort of really was embedded in on how I wanted to cook. And also, I don't like to call them cheap cuts, economical cuts, because nothing should be regarded as cheap, and that's the downfall that people have when they buy chicken breasts over chicken thighs. You can have twice as many chicken thighs with twice as much flavour than you would a breast. And I suppose that's just that education of that. It's like different slow. My mum used to do belly draft when I was a kid. Yeah. You know what belly draft is?
Yeah, of course, the best bit.
You say it to some people, they go, what? And you go, belly draft? Pork belly? Oh, pork belly. Yeah, belly draft is pork belly cut into almost like rashers. So mum would put them on, slice them, rub a little bit of oil, season them.
Sounds great.
Put them under the grill really low, like really on the electric grill, and then you go, a bit of fire would come up and out, and they'd go, and then she'd turn them over and be on really like on for ages. They'd be on, and they were just delicious.
I think the problem with so-called cheap cuts is they don't stay cheap either. I got some lamb neck the other day I was doing a chili bar. I wanted to do a lamb neck.
Oh, nice.
I didn't look at the price because I just presumed I get lamb neck all the time, and I just thought lamb neck's cheap. I just do get loads of lamb neck. They've got no brisket, so I'll use lamb. Got the bill, paid. I was looking at the thing. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, tiny little bit, £8, and I bought 4 packs of it, and I was like, what the fucking hell?
Yeah, and that's because of people like myself that have gone on the telly and gone, these are the delicious cut of meat. It's from the neck of the lamb, and everyone's like, ooh, and it goes. But pork belly's the one. Pork belly's gone through the roof in comparison to what
that used to be so cheap.
It used to be really, really cheap. So, but yeah, growing up on that sort of side, never missed dinner time, never late for dinner. And it was just like that was just the heartbeat of the family. And also, starving all the time, hungry. There wasn't anybody who would talk about obesity and that sort of stuff. Everybody at school was as thin as a rake because they were fucking starving. Honestly, at school, everyone was like that because everyone was hungry. So yeah. But never went to the odd restaurant as a kid. Mainly like it took us for an Indian. I went to a place called the Falcon, which was on the 55 bus route. My dad never drove the 55 bus route, and it's not there anymore. But 55 bus route, and it was unlicensed. So my dad would take 4 cans of Brew 11. My mum would have a bottle of tiger milk. And I always say as well, I mean, I didn't realise you could milk a tiger. And I kept looking at it, I was thinking, how's that tiger milk? Because sometimes, a simple kid as I was thinking, what? And then we'd have like a bottle of Roller Cola and you'd go, pour it flat. Where's all the fizz gone?
and the flavour.
Well, you were still buzzing now. You were still buzzing. And then they gave you a few places do it now. I think they use the old table naan. Obviously using your fingers and stuff like that, which I loved. And it was I used to call it a bread duvet. You come down, and just sort of ripping away at it and stuff. And yeah, I mean, that was the sort of place you would go to. And then as we got a little bit older, it took us out for a steakhouse or something like just like in the local sort of pubs. So when I started cooking, so probably when I went to Simpsons in my early 20s, that's when I started like saving. We used to save money. So me, Luke Tipping, and Andy Waters, and obviously Andreas, we used to put money into this little kitty. And then we used to like choose a restaurant to go to. And then we'd drive down on a Saturday morning, go and have lunch somewhere, come back and do Saturday night service. We used to call it the Manger Club. That's when I really started going to restaurants and sort of really looking past the kitchen, really. Because like as a chef, you're always driven by the food. And I'm a chef, but I'm a restaurateur. And what I did learn from eating out more and under Andreas, really, because Andreas was very much a restaurateur and showed me how important it is to have that connection with the front of house and the back of house, and how important it is to eat out, to understand the regalia on how people eat, the environment where people eat and the way you present yourself. Do you know what I mean? So I learned quite a lot on that. So eating out in my early 20s was massive, and then I just got the book then, and it was like, then I started wanting to do stages. So I did a stage when I was about 18 at Rhodes. I was there for about 2-3 weeks. It's fucking brilliant. It was. It just got started the greenhouse. I watched him on telly. The Rhodes around Britain was his first program, and he was like playing football with Man United and all that sort of stuff. And it was just great to see. But his style of cooking, I think Tom Kerridge, and Tom's a good friend of mine, and we talk about people that have influenced our industry, and Gary Rhodes almost changed the mentality of British food. He brought British food back into the forefront and brought it into restaurants. Because we're obviously very dominated by French. We had the Roux brothers, Rangon Blanc, which is great. Because that's the centre of gastronomy, and sort of the Brits were sort of really sort of getting into that. And Gary Rhodes, I did my stage there, and he was doing these like little fish cakes with lemon butter sauce. One of the best desserts I've had was his bread and butter pudding. But like, it wasn't bread and butter pudding like cut into a ring, layered up a million times, and then pressed, set, took out. You know what I mean? It was like cooked at every service, left it in the flip ovens, take it out, 2 bread and butter pudding away, scoop, brown sugar, blowtorch, big Purnell of ice cream, away. That's it. And then at the end of the service, if there was any left, because it was that nice, it used to fly out, then you would just get to eat it, and that's it. And you do another one for the next service. And that sort of mentality is all about the flavour. His braised ox tails.
Didn't you have a shepherd's pie on as well a lot of the time?
Yeah, shepherd's pie. I mean, then you go back, and then you've got people like Nigel Howarth who put Lancashire hot pot. What a fantastic dish, and brought that into the restaurant scene. So, for me, Gary Rhodes, that stage for me was mind blowing. And then I got the bug then. So then I went to the stage at the Aubergine. Gordon Ramsay, 2 stars. Fucking hell. But like, if you ever bump into somebody at a certain time of their life when the obsession, drive, and the motivation, that guy was on a mission. And it was the kitchen was tough. It was a bit tenacious in parts, should I say? But the food was phenomenal. I still think it's some of the best food I've seen. And when you look at pictures now, what they were doing, sort of people go, oh yeah. But at that time, it was like phenomenal. And that was another sort of massive sort of like wake up call for me, because I've been to Ibiza, we'd all messed around with that, with a few bits and pieces, and we all enjoyed that sort of stuff. When I went to Ramsay's, I realised at my young age, he said to me, how old are you now? And I was like, 22, whatever. He went 22. Now, he said, between now and 26, 27, the most important times of your cooking career. So you either need to fucking get on with it or don't bother. And that for me, I was like, fucking hell, you're right. And that's when I went turbo. Just totally sort of like, stopped messing about going out and all that sort of stuff, and just really focused on being a good chef. And I went to France a few times and just sort of like absorbed myself into what food and just the whole restaurant and just the ethos and what I believed in, and just really focused on that. And that was because I went to the Aubergine and got my arse kicked, to be honest with you.
So it helps then?
Oh, massively. But it opened my eyes, and I got the hairs on the back of my neck. I've always had that, but you've always got distractions in life, haven't you, from that goal. And that's what when you become a winner, is when you think you've got the white noise of the distractions, you've got to push that aside, and you've got to focus and just get on with it. And I think that was a big turning point for me. I didn't realise that probably till maybe when I got into my early 30s, and thought, fucking hell, yeah. When I look back, and I was investing in myself. I was like saying, right, let's go and work there for a couple of weeks. Let's go and work there for 2 days. Let's go and work there for whatever. For nothing, just turn up. And I worked at the Jardin des Sons. I was only there for about a week and a half, but it was my holiday. Flew out there. I took a pay chef with me, Ginge. Took him, and we just phenomenal. The only thing we had to do on our day off, we had to go and clean all the bins out and all that sort of stuff. But then it was just a privilege to be in there. It was just like wow, I'm in a 3-star restaurant, and it's just like the food. It was like 100 for lunch, 110 for dinner, So like 40, 50 chefs.
Wow.
So, fucking hell. Yeah. So it was 3-star food, but it was like just rammed. One of the main reasons why, when you look at why did I open in Birmingham or why did I stay in Birmingham? One of the turning points for me was I was working at the Charlie and Sons, and obviously I'm a cheeky fucker anyway, so I'm obviously getting in with the lads and the laugh and the joke and practicing my French and all that sort of stuff and going out with them and stuff and just integrated straight away, because you're either stand on the outside and watch or roll your sleeves up and just get stuck in. You get knocked back a few times, but you just get in there. And the only way you're going to learn more is if you get in amongst them to see what's going on, try and listen and pick up things and whatever. So the sous chef, he quite liked me, and he's going, English, you come here. I was like, wow. He says, in the restaurant, we have someone that sounds like you. I said, what are you on about? He said, someone sounds like you. So what English? He went, no, like you. So I went out, there was 2 Brummies. They were on holiday. In the restaurant. And I thought to myself, it's like Brummies eating in 3-star restaurants in France. And I thought to myself, maybe there is a food scene in Birmingham. And there was nothing there. There was nothing in Birmingham at the time. Nothing. And then that was me thinking, well, okay, that's my goal. That's what I want to open. I got job offers. And it's easy to get a job in the kitchen. You rock up at the back door and say, I'm up for it. But that was when I thought,
is it still easy to do that?
Well, now they're dragging you in now. But it's like, yeah, I mean, you can get a job in any kitchen because the staff levels and the skill levels are, unfortunately, they're not as good as what they used to be, and all that stuff. And I don't know why that's happened. And we can blame COVID, Brexit, and all the rest of it. I haven't got the answer to that. But like, you turn up at the kitchen door and you knock the door and said, "You got any work?" Get you in, you feel any good, you start tomorrow.
Yeah, can you use a peeler? Yeah.
Can you stand up for 16 hours and get called a cunt in 2 minutes? Yeah. Start now, you cunts. Do you know what I mean? So if you want to do that, so that was always my drive. Then I thought to myself, I want to do that, and then it was my 40th birthday. When I'd already had the restaurant and stuff, I won a star at Jessica's and I'd won a star at Purnell's and stuff. My dad got me framed out of it's a thing at school called Records of Achievement, it was called.
Yeah.
Do you remember it? Because
was it?
When did it phase it out? Because it wasn't in for a long time, was it?
No, I remember it was like red, but it was like sort of that leathery, that darkness.
Yeah,
like rings all through it, like an old book.
Yeah, like I'm going, you have to write down. So I wrote down in there, I want to open a restaurant in Birmingham for, businessmen and posh people to come and eat and blah, blah, blah. And I wrote a little menu. It's got, I can't remember what the menu is now. I think it's a prawn cocktail and it's all written in French, which I've obviously copied it. I've obviously just copied it from somewhere. Right, and in brackets I've written in English, just in case I forgot what it was. And I've written it down. And my dad framed it. And he framed it for my 40th because he found it in the loft. And now it's on my back door. So, and I always say to myself, so I want to cook him in Birmingham, in town, which is his town, in town. So all the people from Birmingham and all the people from around the country come to my restaurant and Birmingham. It's written in that sort of way. And I look at that now, and when I stopped feeling the same as when I wrote that when I was 13, like that's when I knock it on the head. Do you know what I mean? And people ask me, when I shut Purnell's, because I'm opening again. Why are you opening again? It's because that's me. I can't fucking do anything else, can I? But also, I want to do it, and I know that Birmingham is going through a bit of a transitional period of restaurants shutting. It's really tough at the minute. And my heart goes out to anyone that's got a restaurant that's trying to make it work. Restaurant, cafe, hotel, the hospitality, trying to make things work. It's really tough. And, I still want to be a massive part of that. And I still think Birmingham, although it's at its low points, let's not go on about the bins, but it's its low points, but I still think we're in a transitional period where I think we're going to, we're sort of coming to sort of a sticky end, but I can see it flipping back around. And I want to be part of, when I was part of the revolution at the start, and I still believe in the faith that it's still going to be place to come to.
There's a lot coming for this city.
Yeah,
I think. As soon as Stage S2 is finished, As soon as they finally finish the tram going down Digbeth.
Yeah.
There's a lot gonna happen.
Yeah,
the Blues, we got the link to the east side of the city.
Yeah.
That's a massive infrastructure
Massive.
project. Like, as soon as all this is in place.
Yeah. And I think we just need to hold tight and try and pull on through. But I just want to still be part of it. I still want to, I've got a little tapas bar in town, which is great. But I still want to be on the stoves cooking. Don't get me wrong, I still can move for a 50-year-old, but I don't want to be there 16 hours a day. But I still want to cook and do the pass and all the rest of it. So that's something I'm really excited about, which opens in hopefully September.
Oh wow!
And that's going to be called Trillium, and it's a 3-petaled wildflower.
Yeah.
Which my business partner Phil Innes from Loki. So we're doing it together, and we've got a third partner as well. So we're doing that together, and so it's going to be wine focused, small plates, large plates. People keep calling it a wine bite. It's not a wine bite; it's a restaurant.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? But it's very similar to what's happening in London. You've got Dorian, Mountain, places like that.
I think this is the way forward now.
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
honest.
It's that choice, when you come in, tasting menus are phenomenal, fantastic, and I've been cooking tasting menus for 20 years. And that's been, just like my own restaurants, let alone before. And there's always a place for a tasting menu. And I don't want people to think, oh, yeah, tasting menus are fucking finished. They're not finished, are they? No. It's just another way to eat. But if you want to, from a business point of view, you want to keep customers coming back. It's difficult to keep on changing your tasting menu every couple of weeks, months and stuff. Because you change it seasonally, yes. But to have a restaurant where you can go in, choose... so there's 8 small plates, 5 large plates, sides and desserts. You say, well, I'll have the crab, the carpaccio, and that. And then they come. And then you'll have the double entrecote with that and that. And then you're building your own sort of taste menu, so you can have as much or as little as you want. And I think that's what, because pennies are a bit tight now, in the old pocket. So I think people are like, when you go out, you don't want to walk into a restaurant and go, 140 quid. 140 quid. That's 2 of you. So you got 280 quid before you've even bought a drink. So you that flexibility to be able to say, well, actually, tonight I'm going to spend £50 each, £60 each, or 25. I don't know, and have that sort of that freedom to build and have as much or as little as you want. That's why the tapas bar is relatively busy, because people can go in there, have a glass of wine, 2 or 3 plates, move on to the next place, or they sit, they have a bottle of wine, and they have 6, 7 sort of plates. So that's the sort of vibe that we're going for at Trillium. Phil's going to make an interesting wine list as well. Some sort of I had a lovely bottle of wine from him the other day from Tenerife.
All right.
Really nice. And it was really sort of affordable, but interesting. Because we all love a white Burgundy. You know what I mean? I could have a glass for breakfast. You know what I mean? That's how much I like white Burgundy. And people might say, that's a bit obvious. Yeah, it is a bit obvious. And I think with someone like Phil, we're together. We're going to sort of create this interesting environment where, you can have a glass of wine from Tenerife, or Moldova, or a good glass of Rioja, or a good glass of Burgundy. So we're going to try. I'm going to constantly change things as well. I have specials boards. So we'll ring the fish man. I've got some grey mullet. Okay, we'll have 6 of them. We'll grill it with a little bit of chili oil. Do you know what I mean? And just serve it in the oil with some bread, or you go on. Do you know what I mean? And that's the sort of, especially the game season as well.
Yeah.
I live out in the sticks, so we've got nice. I bought a monk jack in the other week. Right, so my neighbour, he saw me in the farm shop, and he's going, "Oh, Glynn, I got something for you for Quality Streets." No, it was a dead animal. I got this for you.
He actually had it on him
No,
in the car.
in the boot.
I was waiting to see you, Glynn.
In a back bag. Yeah.
No, it's like that. It's like that on the passenger seat with a seatbelt on, like that. Cigarette in its mouth.
Some sunglasses.
Sunglasses, yeah. Oh, I didn't want it smoked. So he said to me, I'll drop it round your house. First of all, I saw, how do you know where I fucking live? That's the first thing I thought. Right? So then he pulled up, bibbed outside, came to the end of the drive, and he's got this monk jack with no head on it, full on fur, and he just passed it me over the gate, and I've gone, oh, cheers. I'm fucking hell. So I thought, right, I'll put it in the kitchen. I thought, I'll whip this down. And I thought, actually, I'll take it into work. I'll do it in the little tapas bar kitchen at the back. And I took it in, and I said, pick something up, drop something off. And I thought to myself, okay, I looked at the time, and the restaurant was already open. So I think it was a Friday, actually. And I think we had 20 people in for lunch. So it was quite busy. It's only tiny anyway. I walked in, I'm not realising, with the monk jack under my arm. And like the back end of the monk jack is hanging out of the black bag. And it's got this big bushy tail and furry legs. I mean, it looked like a dog. So I see that. I see people go. So obviously I span around and went back and I put it in the back of the car. I did it at home. I mean, it was for me anyway. It wasn't for the restaurant. It was for me. I was just going to eat it,
at least I had a nice day out.
Well, you did at least come to town, didn't it? Come to town. But it's like, so that's what we do, when the pheasants are in and the partridges are in, and we can roll the menu all the time. And I think, although I was obviously devastated about Purnell shutting, I feel that, obviously it was a really tough time. So I lost my dad at the same time, the restaurant shut and all that sort of stuff. And it was fucking so stressful. And not knowing, how I'm going to pay the bills and all the rest of it.
And the local press decided to pile on top of you.
Oh yeah, they love the pile. The press love me.
Yeah.
And I love to. I was in the Daily Mail the other week actually, about the Mounts wanting to, have more outside events, because the previous people that had it for us sort of had the big screens and sort of made it a bit difficult for the neighbours and stuff, which whatever. So now we took it on. We're only allowed to have 3 events, so we applied for more. But when we applied for more, the 2 neighbours either side decided to go to the Stratford Council, went to the Stratford Herald, whatever, told a few pork pies, and then I was in the Mail saying TV chef Glynn Purnell creating a lager-like paradise in this Warwickshire town. I'm not being funny. It's like great food. It's got a great pub at the front. Food's fantastic. The bar food. We do have a barbecue every now and again, and it's just full of really nice people. Honestly, it ain't the Centurion. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, it's got a lovely bit of garden.
So the press love that, and also what really upset me is local press that I've worked with for 20 years, feeding them stories, making them sell their rags, and on the TV promoting the city, whatever. And it's as if the world waits for you to slip up to just give you a shoey. But the fact is, I'm off the woods, so you can kick me as hard as you want, because I'm always going to come back out. Always. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit in the corner and start crying about it. And I've spoken to a couple of the journalists, and they're poor journalism, especially in the local stuff. Poor journalism. Clickbait bullshit. It's just ridiculous, man. And they reported, I don't want to go too much on about the vouchers, because it was something that sort of kicked me in the bollocks and didn't realise was there until it happened. They reported it. By the time I had to bury my dad in the meantime, which thanks for the time off, guys, but they didn't give me the opportunity to put that right. And then I had no legal requirement to do anything, because it was a company that owed them, not me. I saw the gravitation of the problem. I thought, what the fuck am I going to do? So then I filtered. I gave out people a month to get back to me, to then be able to come into the tapas bar, use their voucher. I couldn't accommodate exactly to the penny, but some people had books sent to them, some people had champagne sent to them, some people had a table of 2, some people had a table of 4, and some people had extra shot. Do you know what I mean? And I saw every single voucher that a person had come in, I sort of accommodated them as best I could, bespoke, because everybody was different.
What shocked me was just how quick, it felt like you closed on the Friday, and then Saturday or Monday, the press was like, Michelin-star chef leaves voucher people in the lurch, and you're like, well, it's like you said, as a business, Woolworths or anyone else goes bust. Go look for your vouchers. Good luck with that.
Yeah,
Good luck.
like Debenhams, Woolworths, HMV, big companies, and the CEOs of their companies, they just disappear into the night. Yeah. But the reason why, as a Brummie as well, that wants to continue to sort of, I love the place, you know what I mean? So to stay in the area, it was, and it's just for my own integrity, I needed to sort it out, but I needed a bit of time. But if I had people like on Instagram, message me saying, why don't you pay people their fucking vouchers? And I used to say, have you got a voucher? And they go, no. So, well, fuck off then. What's it got to do with you? I said, if you know anyone that has, get them to contact me. The
Yeah.
email address is on it was on Facebook and all of the other, bits and pieces. So that was tough to swallow, and it was tough because, like in life, obviously you trip up on things, and and you look at things as a failure. And Purnell's wasn't a failure. Purnell's was there for over 17 years, and Purnell's was, we were, Square Meal Restaurant of the Year, won AA Restaurant of the Year, won a Michelin-star constantly for 90% of the time it was open, and TV, all the rest of it. We won international awards as well, and just it wasn't a failure. Some things have to come to an end. Some things naturally come to an end, and I look back now, and as part of me is pleased that it's shut now. It's the first time I've really said it out loud. Looking now, how I can evolve, I can do something completely different, and this is why Trillium is very exciting, because I'm still going to be able to. It will still have essence of what I do, but I can change, because with Purnell sometimes it was a bit of a sort of ball and chain. It was like, people walked in and they go, "Oh, is the egg off the Great British menu on?" And you're like, "Oh no, took it off." Well, that's the only reason why I've come. So then you take it off.
I would be raging there.
yeah. I mean,
that was one of the best things I had when I was
when we
it's
had
just
there,
ridiculous.
I was desperate to eat that egg. Ever since I seen you make it on telly, I was like, I've got to have that egg.
Yeah, and it's like I had but then there were people that would come regular, and they've all been 3 times, and it's always the same sort of stuff on the menu. So then they don't really want to come back, which is fair enough, because you've been 3 times. But so yeah, although it has been tough, and I've been battered by the press, and I get hammered by the press because I've got an attractive girlfriend.
Yeah.
You've got an accent, that often helps. They love someone with an accent.
Oh yeah. I mean, what do you want me to do? Go out with a monk jack? Where are the rules, guys? There's no rules, and Molly, the other half, is cake artist. Her dad's really famous. She's got famous family and stuff, and that's is that a negative that I'm going out with? Whatever, we just met at a food festival.
It's going to attract attention, and unfortunately, we live in an era where a negative story will get way more clicks than a positive story. It's not well done, Glynn. Look what you've got.
Well done, Glynn.
Glynn's doing this.
Yeah. Well done, Glynn. You've had a Michelin-star for 20 years, and you've got a smoking girlfriend. Well done. I mean, realistically, I should get fucking high-fived. When I walk down the street, I should be like, just high-five. But what upset me is going back onto pressing. When I put the thing right, there wasn't many stories about that.
Nah.
And when you Google my name and that sort of stuff, it still comes up that I owe. And so it's something I'm just going to have to. Look, I've got thick skin, and though I am a sensitive kind of guy, I just have to get on with it. And there was that saying, isn't it? It's tomorrow's chip paper.
Yeah.
But unfortunately now it's online. But I'm not bothered. I'm not. At the time I was, and it upsets me. But if local press asked me to do something, and the ones that jumped on, I won't do it. I'd just say no, thank you. It's fine. You have to be grown up about it. I mean, I'd love to, rage and rant about it, but I just got to move on to that. But yeah,
obviously you move on from the negative like that. But do you ever get time to reflect on, like, before you started, like Jessica's with your business partner and stuff? We've already mentioned how rubbish the food scene in Birmingham was, and then that was like ground zero from there to what. There'd be no podcast if we didn't have such an awesome food scene.
Yeah.
The amount of Michelin stars we went on to win, but the stuff like Digworth Dining Club, that wouldn't have happened without Jessica's, without you, and then going on to do Purnell's and then the telly.
Yeah.
Like, do you ever reflect on that? And obviously, been the first kind of down to earth Brummie on the telly as well. Carl said how much of an influence that was on me.
Oh yeah, I had no interest in fancy food. Well, I thought it was all tiny portions, a little fucking. There's a bean.
There's a bean. There's a dot of puree next to it. Yeah. No, I mean, well, thank you for your kind words. I mean, it's like, I don't. To be fair, I don't, and I should really. I don't, because I still feel I'm relevant, and I think sometimes I forget. I sound like a blown smoke up, but I forget what I've achieved and what sort of impacts I've had on the city. I do forget that, because for me, I'm just getting on with it. But I look back, and when I opened Jessica's, was the most exciting, exhilarating, time of my life. I'd worked in these restaurants and whatever, and all of a sudden, like I used to write menus at Simpsons. I used to do dishes at Hibiscus, and obviously I've always had a creative mind when it comes to food. I've always been, You know, again, literally, if you give me like a plate of stuff, I can put stuff on a plate. Like the touch is so light and all the rest of it. I've always had that. But then to be standing on the pass, and there was 2 of us in the kitchen, me and Simon Szymanski. His nickname was Sandwich. His nickname was because he used to rant and rave and all jump up and down. And when he was a chef's party at Simpsons when I was sous chef. And I said to him, "Listen, I said, calm down. I've eaten bigger sandwiches than you." That was his nickname. But like the impacts, like we opened Jessica's, it was instantly full. I had a Michelin inspection on the second day we opened.
Wow.
And like it was just phenomenal. And the journey of we had no real budget. It was in the back of a red light district. You know, when I never went there on the night time when we were setting it up. I only went on the daytime. On the day we opened, I was there all day and whatever. And I saw these cars outside. I thought we're going to be banging here. We were banging. We weren't the food that was banging. It was basically the hottest red light area of the town. And like I thought to myself, but eventually you're working with the locals and the police, and the restaurant's sort of becoming more and more sort of recognisable. That sort of dropped off and stuff. So we sort of, and when we got the one AA restaurant within the first 6 months. So I've won AA restaurant of the year twice in 2 different restaurants, and we had a couple of Michelin inspections, and then I was about to fly to Tenerife actually before Christmas because we shut the restaurant. Sat Baines rang me. He was going, Chief, because we used to knock about a bit and stuff. And he said, Chief, have you seen the? I think it was either the Independent or it was the either J. Ryan or it was Terry Durack or it was one of them. And I got literally, and that's what I think a lot of people forget. Like the only time they did a food review on Birmingham was to say how fucking bad it was. Like everybody always used to put the boot in, and then all of a sudden, like Jessica's was getting rave reviews off like the best food critics in the country, and we were in all the big papers in London, all this sort of stuff. All of a sudden, the bookings were going up, and like people coming from around the country to eat at Jessica's. And then as well, there was no real like nobody had really had a website as such then, or there was no Instagram, whatever. So the only food sort of news you could get was word of mouth or food critics. And that was like, and that process, like, you're not Instagram straight away and you go bang. It like has to build, and the build and the journey of it was phenomenal. Like, so I remember I was served J. Rayner, and we did. I remember the dishes. I did a piece of red mullet with fennel jelly, black olive, and lemon. But I used to cook the red mullet. So all I had was a stove and some pans. That's it. And a blender, I think I had. That's it. I didn't have any, we had no budget. So I bought the pans from Asda the night before we opened. Right? I thought, fucking, I've got no pans. So I had to go to the 24-hour Asda to get some pans, right? And I cooked this dish in an Asda pan on the back, this beautiful piece of red mullet from Brixham. I used to use a company called Channel. I used to get the day boat stuff. This piece of red mullet, rubbed a bit of oil, and I sat it on the back of the stove. And it was just like and you could see the heat creeping up through the fish. And that's why I used to cook. I used to cook everything. I used to stand in the middle of the kitchen and I used to just cook everything, and the pass was there. And then sandwich was over in the corner doing bits. But I used to just cook everything. And then I did it with this mullet. And I finished it with like a little bit of olive oil and stuff. And then you had veal with caramelised squid, confit tomatoes and asparagus. And I used to roast the veal in joints like that and used to carve it. And the review was amazing. The first paragraph of the review of Jay was what a shithole Birmingham was. But I could sort of agree with it at that time because it was.
Yeah,
it was
you take it then.
The ball ring had just been pulled down and stuff, so we were just building that up and stuff. And then I can't remember what put it. He had like a little chocolate molu with just like some marinated strawberries at the side of it. And the review was unbelievable. And I remember Pascal said, "Chef, there's a man who wants to speak to you." So I'm walking out. I said, I'm busy. He's going, yeah. Then he's about 12 for lunch. He's come up and he went, can I just say it's a fantastic meal? I was like, okay, yeah. Can we get you? I said, do you want another coffee? I said, no, I'm going. And he's gone. There you go. My name's Jay Ryan. I'm a food critic. And I didn't really know.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, okay. And then obviously I got back in, made a few phone calls to my mates and stuff, you know, the Claudes and the Sats of the world. I fucking Jay Rayner, it's a food festival. I actually, you know, I think Jay's great, and I see him every now and again in events and stuff. And I was like buzzing. It was like, and that like euphoria of people recognising what you can do and what you're doing, and then it sort of again that just spiraled, and it became reviewers at Purnell's as well. Very very start we opened, and I seen him at the last night at the Gavroche actually. I was invited to one of the meals at the Gavroche. I seen him there, and you don't have that anymore. It's like Instagram. The restaurant's really popular, and then it sort of drops because that's it. There's no foreplay anymore, is there? There's no like, you know, you open, you know, whatever, you're rocking, and you sort of then build up. It becomes busier and busier. And all of a sudden you get a few accolades, whatever. Now, if you ain't got a Michelin star in 6 months and you ain't won a restaurant of the year, you're a failure.
Yeah.
And I think the organic way of nurturing a restaurant and bringing it up should give it more longevity.
Yeah. Sort of straight to the money shot.
Boom, straight away. Are you any good? You any good? I ain't getting edge. And all of a sudden, boom, it's like, no, there's no courting. There's no like, let me get your coat for you. There's none of this business. It's just like, bang, straight in. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit, yeah. And I look back and I look back what the food scene was when I first opened Jessica's, and there was nothing here. Nothing. And I was like, and that obviously from the back of meeting those two Brummies and whatever. But the other thing was, when I was working at Claude's, there's loads of Brummies used to go out to Ludlow. There was 3 restaurants there.
Yeah, it's only an hour, isn't it?
Yeah, and so there's quite a few Brummies and stuff. So I thought there is a food scene in Birmingham, and obviously proven that it was. And then once we opened, you know, Simpsons come. I mean, they were in transition of coming, I think, anyway. But like they opened, then we got a Michelin-star, first star in Birmingham, which was like unheard of, and it was in international news, you know, and there was like some weird American was going, all right, Bab, something like an American newspaper, and like it was in the New York Times and all that sort of stuff, and you're like, fucking hell, like in a red light district in a tiny restaurant, cooking red mullet from Devon in an Asda pan. Don't get any more rock and roll than that, does it?
Was it different back then, how you got your star? Is it that they kept the system the same as they do now? Do you get a phone call? You've got a star.
You didn't get a phone call?
No.
They used to just like, so I mean, David Emmetice again, become a good friend of mine, and he rang me on the Thursday saying, you've got a Michelin star. I was like, but the press release and out, oh, it's been leaked. And it always got leaked.
Always gets leaked.
Yeah.
And then people used to send it. So it was Martin Blunness sent me a fax with the list. Like the video printer on BBC Sport. But yeah, so like you just got leaked. Now, obviously, they have like you get invited, and you probably get the phone call a couple of days before. And I mean, I don't know really, you know, how you do when you've got a new star, but when you retain a star, you just get an email saying there's your invitation, and you're like buzzing. I've got an invitation, so I must have kept my star. But yeah, the old days it was like, oh, it's been leaked, and somebody else has done this and whatever, and so it's it is different. But like, it's the most like you know, to get a Michelin star, you know, and if anybody's ever won a Michelin star or worked in a Michelin restaurant, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's like it's you know, whether it's 1, 2, or 3. It's just a massive achievement, and it's like it's recognised for your hard work over that time. And also, it's good for business. It picks up 20-30% and whatever, and you get more of the international clientele coming in and that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's brilliant.
Was it ever a drive to a specific goal to get the star or get another star on top of 1 star?
When I first opened Jessica's, I just wanted to last. I wanted to cook great food, have a restaurant that everyone wanted to come to and talk about. Never did I set out to earn a Michelin star, because I don't think you can. I mean, maybe the modern world sort of says you do, but I never did. And people can say I'm full of shit, but honestly, I didn't. I'd worked for Claude, and we just got 2 stars. And I'd worked for Simpsons, and I won a star there with them. And I was sous chef when we did that. And I just thought to myself, just come and cook good food. Yeah, and then people start like tagging on you that you're going to get a star. They go like his tip for a star and whatever. And that's nice because it's all like hearsay and all that sort of stuff. So, but I never set out. When I got the star at Purnell, so I wanted to get 2. You know, I wanted to get 2 and whatever. It's a fine balance of getting 2 stars and doing TV and being in and out of the kitchen to try and to promote the business. So that becomes a little bit difficult.
What were you doing to try and get a 2nd star? What was different?
I think you're perfecting even more. And I know sometimes when you eat a meal, you go, well, that for me is as good as it's going to get. But then you're looking at ingredients, you're looking at techniques, you're looking at how you're going to deliver it, presentation, looking at the amount of people you've got in the kitchens to be able to support that. It's just constantly trying to polish what you've already done and also evolve. It's about trying to evolve. And when I look at what we were cooking when we first opened Purnell to the last service when we cooked, just before Christmas, like the food is 100 times better. But it's obviously the flavour and the style that obviously has evolved, but it's still reaching that level of as a star and not quite 2, I suppose. So it's a difficult thing to answer because I don't know. And if you knew, you'd achieve it. But
you mentioned him a few times. How big of an influence was Claude?
Oh, massive.
Yeah. Claude,
I'd say, is one of the best naturalist cook that I've ever seen on the stove. Like, he used to cook everything whole, and because he's obviously, it's in his blood, man. The guy is like a big, massive dude. Well, it was the thing. He looks like he's lost a little bit of weight now. But no, he was a massive influence. He taught me about, obviously we knew about ingredients and stuff at Simpsons and stuff, but he taught me about, using other ingredients, also some of the cooking techniques. He used to cook pigeon like I've never tasted before. He used to cook it, he used to balance it on a spoon, and it'd just be like just touching the heat, so the heat's coming through slowly, and then you'd roll it, and then you'd roll it, and you'd roll it. And then when you cut it open, it was just completely pink. I used to upset him with his pomme souffle because he's put some pomme souffle on it. Used to set me down all the time, dude. And he used to go, "What's wrong with you? Like this?" Yes, chef. Yeah. So Claude, a phenomenal cook. And I love I haven't been yet, Josephine. He looks absolutely superb. And it's cooking from his heart and where he's from. He had a boucheron in Lyon. So boucheron is like a cafe type bistro. It's like an everyday place to go and eat. Red and white tablecloths. His mum used to cook. His dad used to be at the front, and he's cooking that sort of style of food, which is brilliant. So Claude's a massive influence. And Andreas as well. Andreas very much restaurateur. Like I said earlier, he was very much a restaurateur. Showing a young chef like me that food isn't just about what goes on the pass. It's when it goes out into the restaurant and how that is sort of like presented, really. So, but 2 massive influences on myself. Massive.
I listened to the Spin Justice podcast.
Oh yeah.
And you mentioned that you made a crisp sandwich for Claude.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Why? Because you say that you did it and he loved it, but you didn't say what, like how.
Okay, right.
So you don't just walk up to Claude and go,
"Here's a crisp sandwich." No, to be honest with you, what it was so Claire, his wife at the time, obviously she'd in front of the house in the kitchen, and we had the kitchen staff, and like obviously we were in the shit all the time. It was only a 16 to 20 cover restaurant. We was in the shit all the time, and it was the techniques and the methods, and we used to hang the meat, and we used to cook things whole, and things were cooked to order and all that sort of stuff. So we had like raw ingredients like cabbage we cooked to order, asparagus cooked to order. Doesn't sound a lot, but when that's part of 20, 30 things going on, and the tasting menu used to call it menu surprise. You'd write there, you'd go, he said to me, "Glynn, give me 3 dishes for the first start of the menu." So I've got some asparagus. I'll do that with a poached egg yolk. We've got some smoked butter. We'll do with that. Next course, we've got some crab. We'll do it with the avocado and whatever. And he will say, "Well, I'm going to do this." And he'd do that. So you're literally cooking. And each table could be different. So you could have the crab starter and you could have the asparagus one on the other side of the room, part of the tasting menu. So we used to have to do it like 11 o'clock. We used to do like something to eat. So like Claire would come in and knock up some sandwiches, or I would get some bacon, put some bacon and stuff. And one day I was so far in the shit, we just had like loads of crisps on the pass, whatever. I thought, I'll just make crisp sandwiches for everyone. So I made him this crisp sandwich, and he's gone, bit into it. He was like, "Wow, it's the texture, the soft, the crunchy," and like because he's French and very romantic, he made it sound a bollocks. But it was just a crisp sandwich. But that's what food's all about, isn't it? It's like the simplest of things and the generosity of you giving somebody something or cooking somebody.
Yeah.
You should be forever grateful of that. You're like, fucking hell, he's made me a sandwich, or he's made me a bowl of soup, or she's made me this. And that's what I think young chefs need to understand and appreciate that. And it's what you have got is a special gift. You make people happy.
Yeah.
I mean, you give someone food, like, other than a couple of quid, if you give somebody food and go, "Oh, I've made this for you," and they go, "Oh, wow, thank you." You eat it. It's like heartwarming, isn't it? It's like it's what a chef should be.
Yeah.
And going back, that's what I want to open again. I want to do something again because it's a missing part of my life. Sometimes if I've got nothing to do, I'm just like, well, I'm bored. A bit Craig Dave, I'm bored to do it, man. I should be serving people. That's what I should be doing, and that's the crisp sandwich is to the point that it's.
Yeah.
Sometimes if I'm not down to London or something, I modify the sandwich. So buy a sandwich.
Yeah.
And then the
Bang
crisps.
some crisps on it.
And then you put them inside.
Tastes different having it separate as well. When it's in there, it's
in there.
crunched already. The butter's on there.
You appreciate your
It's
hard
all
work.
different.
You've built that up, haven't you?
How big an influence, or was it for you as a career? There's a Great British Menu.
So Great British Menu, massive program, fantastic. I was just opened Purnell's, and I did a little fishing video called Work in the Sea. You can get it on somewhere. I did it for the BBC. It was a whole week about the coast. And obviously Birmingham being in the coast. Apart from the restaurant being called Coast, we're a chip shop. So you're going to get close to the sea, are we? Right? So like I thought, and then this local director, a local TV called Maverick TV, they approached me and said, "Look, this guy had eaten in the restaurants, and he'd spoken to me, had a conversation with me, and he's gone, this guy's like, I've never presented anything in my life. I've done a little bit of TV before, but nothing like that." And so it was me, cameraman, the sound man, Chris the sound man, and it was Noel Fraser was the director, whatever. And we did this program where we went to the Birmingham market. I bought some fish, took it back to the restaurant. Then we decided to find out where the fish was from. Then we went all the way to Devon, went on the boat, caught the fish, walked back, went all the way back up, and then I cooked the fish in the restaurant. And it was the journey of the fish. And somebody from the BBC saw that and then phoned me up for Great British Menu. And the Great British Menu rang, and I was like, "Oh, we want to do this new program called Great British Menu. It's third series." I was like, "Well, to be honest with you, I'm not really a TV chef. I wanted to be a rock and roll Ramsay, Marco kind of chef." You know what I mean? And they were like, and then Sat rang me and said, "Look, gotta do it, Glynn. It's fucking brilliant." And I ended up cooking against Sat in the first round. And then his ass to him. So,
he definitely regrets getting you.
Must think no time.
So I did I phone Glynn?
But that was like it was massive because I was in the kitchen with Sat for a week, talking about food. We went out for dinner. Brilliant. Do you know what I mean? So I was a good friend anyway, but I could. And then when we got to the final, I hung out with Stephen Terry, Tom Kitchen, Danny Miller. Nigel Howarth, and we hung out, and you never get a chance to hang out with other chefs in the same sort of level or better than you, because you will hang out with your own staff, don't you? But to be there, a little bit vulnerable as well. That Jason Atherton as well. So I was working with Jason Atherton for a week.
Yeah.
It's like brilliant. I was like, "Oh, what's that, Jace? What's that, Tom?" Some kitchen made one of the best beef Wellingtons I've ever seen. I was like, "Fucking hell." And it was like, so that was a massive influence. And I think I like to call us, we're the golden generation. That third series, we had Heston, Ramsay, and all the rest of them were all at the top of their game. And then we had food was very regional as well then. So like people would see, Nigel and go, "He's from Lancashire, and that's where his restaurant is." And it sort of like highlighted, rather than just London Central, it highlighted fantastic restaurants all over the country. And it was just brilliant. And I did the series after that, which I won. I won the 10-10N. I got the 3 10s for the egg the first time, and I won the monkfish as well. and done the banquet twice, and I sort of got a chance to mentor and judge on it and stuff, and it's phenomenal because you just get to see stuff that you don't see in your own kitchen. So I think that's, apart from the TV, obviously the coverage of the exposure you get from from people coming. We had people from Australia come and eat because they play it in Australia, and they like people having honeymoons in this country, going round to all the Great British Menu restaurants. That's the impact it had. I mean, I'm not sure what it's like now or how that would impact now, but from bums on seats, but to educating yourself and stuff, it's like phenomenal.
Well, the people we've had on who they're fairly recent people, they've said your bookings just go off the charts.
Oh yeah. I mean, I remember we opened in the July. We had the honeymoon period right up until Christmas, and then after Christmas it dropped, and then we had the credit crunch in 2008, so it really dropped, and then Great British Menu landed in March, and then we were full for 2 years, and all the other restaurants were shutting and stuff, and that's the impact it had. And then we won the Star that year as well. Then had an impact. So we were like fully booked for 3 years. Wow, it's like
such an important TV show. It's the only TV show every year I cannot wait to see.
You can't wait to see. What about MasterChef Professionals?
That's great. So I love that as well. That's the two very different shows, because I find Great British Menu is a bit more one-on-one competitiveness.
Yeah.
And you get to see a lot more of the new techniques that people are bringing through, and you know what's going to be on the menu the following year by watching this show.
Yeah, you're going to get a chance to taste that. I think that's what's great about Great British Menu. You can watch it, and at some point, if you want to, you can track it down and taste it. Whereas if like MasterChef Professionals and stuff, it's done, and it's just like, I'll probably replicate some of it, but Great British Menu shows the personality of the chef and the personality of the restaurant that they.
It feels a lot more, and it's no disrespect to anyone on MasterChef Professionals, but this was like back in the day. It was Michelin-star chefs would go on this show. They're not going on MasterChef Professionals to try and win it.
No.
These are people that run their own kitchen already, and they're trying to get it bigger.
It's the best of the best.
Yeah.
I cooked against Sat in my first heat. The first time I did it, beat him. Second year around, I thought I might get a slightly an easier ride now, because obviously Sat's phenomenal, so I might get an easier ride now. Then they got fucking Daniel Clifford. Do you know what I mean? So I'll put him to bed as well. Do you know what I mean? So it's a great program.
Whereabouts is the new restaurant? I don't think we said.
So the new restaurant Trillium. That's with me and Phil Innes, our business partner. We're opening in Snowhill, so it's
nice.
number 1 Snowhill, so down the steps. It's about 40 odd covers, small, large plates, but a restaurant, not a wine bar. But if you at certain times of the day, you can go and have a glass of wine and a couple of plates, as well as the full bang, really. So looking forward to it. So September, if everything goes well. Yeah. So obviously, I want people to know that I'm cooking there, obviously, but as you can see, it hasn't got the Purnell sort of name or brand on it. Yeah. That isn't any other reason that we just want to do it, because obviously Phil's my business partner, and whatever, we wanted to try and do something completely different from the brand, if you know what I mean. But I'm cooking there, and it's going to be similar elements of it with similar sort of style that I used to at Purnell, but in a different format, really.
I think it's a smart move. London's got a lot of these type of restaurants. Yeah, Birmingham doesn't really have anywhere doing that at the moment.
I mean, there's still some great restaurants in Birmingham, and I'm hoping just to add to it. Do you know what I mean? And long live the King's dead, long live the King. Do you know what I mean? Come back, or the Prince, however you want to put it.
Awesome. Well, thanks for doing this, Glynn. We finished with a little quick fire questions. They're never quick fire. It doesn't have to be just.
Yeah. I've written a few down actually, just so I could remember.
What's your favourite dish you cook at home?
2 really. So Molly's pescatarian, so I do like to do prawn pil in the garlic butter, nice big earthenware dish, and that sort of stuff. Or I do like to roast a whole pork belly. I have that with polenta. So if I have people come round, I get a massive pork belly, I roast it, and I get polenta. And I do like a sweet and sour tomato salad and rocket. So we just sort of lash it down on the table, hack into it, big bowl of polenta, and then the salad. And you just help yourself, and just like that's the go-to. That is, and I like that because it's what I love polenta. It's one of my favourite things. Nice. Very underused, I think.
Yeah, you don't see it very many places. Don't have it under there.
It's really, really nice. So that's what I like to cook at home.
What's your favourite restaurant in Birmingham?
Ooh, difficult. Since it's a great restaurant, Adams and all the bigger guys are great. I like to go to around the China Quarter. I like to sort of go to some of the ones that are all steamed up and you don't know how to say the name. You go in there and you just order a bowl of something. So yeah, I'm going to stay a little bit Swiss here and stay on the fence. But I mean, like all of my friends, you know, like Cray and I train Cray, I train Dave Taylor, and it's great to go and eat in their restaurants because they're family. So.
And they're great restaurants.
And well, first and foremost, they're great restaurants. Yeah. So really, I've got lots of friends in the town, like Adam Stokes and all the rest of it. Actar's a great friend of mine. I'd say best restaurant at the moment in Birmingham is Ofine. I went there for my birthday. I got treated twice. Actar treated me. So I'd say I'm gonna say Ofine. At the minute, I think it's pumping its chest out. It's kicking out some fantastic flavour, and the place is phenomenal. So, I'll say Ofine.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Your favourite bar or pub?
OCs. I like the OCs. Our Contemptibles, just off where, because we used to go there. We used to have our annual Christmas do in there, which was the day before we shut, go and have a couple of pints.
Yeah, stunning place.
I love the OCs.
Yeah, it's a really nice bar.
I just like, and a lot of the people in there as well. It's got like proper. Get a few people from the Black Country in there that come off the Snowball train station.
Do you have a favourite curry house?
I used to like the two brothers in Lady Purnell, Imran's. That was my favourite. It's not there anymore.
No.
It's shut now, but that was one of my favourites. But I've had a great meal in Ashes last time I went. James Martin.
I do like Ashes.
Ashes, I really like Ashes. And there's probably a lot of people thinking, well, you get a small one, but Ashes is really good.
Is there anywhere you haven't eaten in Birmingham that you're desperate to get to?
Probably Rabbit. Cubo, possibly. Harborne Kitchen, I've never eaten there.
No,
so I'd like to go there. And that's not purely because I just don't have time. So there's those places. I like them, small, independent, and what's the Vietnam place as well?
Eat Vietnam.
Another place I'd like to go.
And
I've never been there either. And he's been to my restaurant those times. I feel a bit guilty, so maybe I need to get the old bus.
I need to
get the bus ticket. Just get my bus ticket out and get ourselves over there.
Do you have a favourite breakfast spot?
Well, my favourite breakfast spot isn't in the city centre. It's in Coleshill, and it's a little cafe that's opened
recently. Yeah, everyone at work's talking about it because obviously a build out. They're all on about the breakfast.
It's really good. It's called Partridges.
Yeah,
it's called. Yeah. It's really good. And what I like about it is. It's how often do you get like a good breakfast venue that opens? You don't. It's normally a place that does breakfast, then does lunch. This just stays open for most of the day. Does breakfast. Great.
It's the most underrated place in Birmingham.
I think Craig could do with a bit more recognition. I think.
Yeah.
With what he does.
670 is.
670 is
very,
great.
very
it's good.
What do you think is the best restaurant anywhere in the world you've eaten at?
Well, I've been obviously. I'm quite old, so I've been to lots of restaurants. I've been to loads of 3-star restaurants. I've been to loads of cafe, bar, whatever. I went to Neusha Hall. I went to for my birthday. Gareth treated me. That was phenomenal. That's definitely up there. But I'd say my favourite restaurant in the world was when I went to Alsac in San Sebastian, 3 Michelin stars. I was working in Vitoria. It took an hour coach to get there. It was on the other side of the mountain, so there was no train. I had to go all the way up north there. And I barely had any money. I had a credit card on me, which I sort of blasted. I was about 21. I won Ryoka Sous Chef of the Year. And I was out there for about a month. And I went there and it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And she came out, he came out, the main guy, Alzac, came out, his daughter came out, wheeled a trolley over of brandies, gave me his big Spanish brandy. It was phenomenal. So I'd say Alzac for the pure memory of it.
Awesome, mate.
Cheers.
That's us. Appreciate
Cool.
it. Thanks very much.
You got plenty?
Got loads.